Hey, how you guys doing today? My name is Russell Boyd. I'm the peer support specialist here at 100 Families, and today we have some guests from Pulaski County. Um, we're just going to be talking about the importance of, programs in jails and institutions and the effect that they have. But we're going to go around the table and introduce ourselves. We'll start with this.
My name's David.
David. So, we're going to give a little background.
We are.
Yeah.
My name's David, and went through a program at the Pulaski County Jail, and it bettered my life. It changed my life around in 180 degrees, to where I had a way of getting recovery and lots of resources when I got out, and things like the 100 Families do for people in the public.
And you said this was where?
This was at Pulaski County Jail.
Pulaski County. Prior to that, have you ever been in that jail?
Oh yeah.
How many times if you don't?
I ain't got enough fingers and toes.
So,
Probably 19 or 20 times, probably.
Was there anything before? Any kind of treatment or any kind of thing?
There was way back before I started going to jail. I mean, as long as I was doing the recovery thing, I was clean and I was doing the right thing. And when I relapsed, I do what we do.
Yeah, I'm speaking more of like inside the jail. Was there any kind of program those 20 times, the other 20 times?
No, there was never any programs or anything like that to help with the still suffering addict or someone like me, or there's thousands of people that get there that don't ever get the opportunity for that.
Yeah,
As far as programs goes, that's the first time since that jail's been there that I know of that there's been a program in there at all.
Yeah,
anything to help somebody not come back to jail. I don't know of any other program that's ever existed there.
Yeah,
and I've been there a bunch. I've been there 20 times. I spent a couple of years in there, matter of fact. I spent 11 months one time waiting to get convicted to go to the penitentiary, and I spent 9 or 10 months again trying to get another conviction to go back to the penitentiary. I've been to the penitentiary 4 times, and it's like there was never anything to help.
So have you been in treatment before?
Have I been in treatment before?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. 9 times.
9 times. So what was different? What was unique about going through that drug program versus going to treatment?
The structure of it.
The
structure as far as, it's not that they make you do it. It's like you have the opportunity to change. You won't know what it is, I hope that it grows in the county jail.
Yeah, me too. It sounds like it was a good thing.
It was a good experience.
I don't know how to do this.
There's a lot of people, like Deputy Smiley, that I want to thank for the things that they did, to take this opportunity to thank you and you, you were all a big part of that. And it's like, for me to stay clean on the outside, I need people like you for a strong foundation or to get the help that I need in order to stay clean.
So when you got released, correct me if I'm wrong, I think what you're saying was like, it just wasn't a program in jail. And when you get out, it's just like.
No, it's not nothing like that at all.
So what can you tell the Alliance members, like what happened when you got out?
Yeah. When I got out, well, first of all, let me start like when I went to court, they were going to give me 36 years in the penitentiary for a drug charge that I was straight guilty of, and I'm not denying that. But, it was through the CSI program, and I don't
The PAC, yeah,
the PAC program. The PAC program was where I was placed against my will to begin with. It's like I was skeptical of it, and I thought you were just full of it. And it's like everything. But after I stayed there for a little while, and I saw, I started to see the structure of it and see what was happening. It was like I understood, and I started to use those resources and those, everybody in there really. I mean, it's like one big, it's like a structured. I've never seen it in a county jail before. Never,
yeah.
Because usually in a county jail there's fights, there's
no order.
There's no order whatsoever. And that program placed order in everybody's life in there.
Yeah.
And every individual was singled out and got to, was given the opportunity to get the help they need to recover, to be somebody different.
So I want to state to Alliance members and the people that are viewing this that it's kind of hard for me to ask these questions because at the same time, I was the one who ran and helped out with the drug program, with the sheriff's drug program, but I ran the PAC program. So it's kind of difficult for me to ask questions and try to keep it going at the same time. But we're going to go around and try to introduce ourselves to the Alliance members. And we're going to, this pretty face here it's Holly.
So my name is Holly Taylor. I'm the substance abuse counselor for the Pulaski County Sheriff's Office Reentry Program. I'm a recovering addict myself. I've been in Pulaski County Jail a few times myself. I previously worked at Hoover Treatment Center, and then I started working with Pawpaw, or Reverend Robinson, and I started going into the jail with him to visit people, to interview them to go to treatment. And that's kind of where I fell in love with working at the jail. And so from there, I just kind of pursued a job to work at Pulaski County Jail, and I didn't give up.
So was any kind of like volunteering in the process of doing that?
Yes. So I actually went through treatment at Hoover Treatment Center. When I got out of Hoover Treatment Center, I volunteered there for a few months.
At Hoover?
Yes, at Hoover. And then I stuck around until a job became available. I was a Vista there. I'm trying to think of the full name for it, but it's Vista. Started working there, and then I went on full time there. And then in the midst of me working at Hoover Treatment Center, I started volunteering at the jail, doing some groups there for the reentry program. And it kind of just evolved into a job at the jail.
Was there anything special during the whole time you were doing this? Like any special health conditions or anything?
Oh, I was pregnant. Yeah. I had my son while I was working at Hoover and volunteering at the jail.
Yeah.
But I came back.
So that's a form of dedication there. So thank you for introducing yourself. Now we have Smiley, Deputy Smiley.
Hi. How y'all doing today? I'm Deputy Smiley. I'm one of the deputies that oversee the CSI program at Pulaski County. I'm actually a deputy, but I kind of perform as a mentor, peer specialist, counselor, trying to help these guys.
But hold on, I don't want to interrupt you, but okay. I have to, because one thing's real important that these viewers probably don't know. Before you was a deputy, you was a lieutenant. So it takes a long time to become a lieutenant. So let's start there.
I've been doing corrections and law enforcement for about 26 years. 23 of them were at the Department of Corrections here in Arkansas. I was a lieutenant, like Russell said, worked my way up through the chain and left Department of Corrections and come to the county jail. And when Sheriff Higgins first started the program, he was looking for some deputies that had some knowledge of the program that ADC had, and kind of talked me into taking over coming into the program. At one time, I wasn't real crazy about it because I'd seen how the programs worked at ADC. Like in David's case, it didn't help.
Well, yeah, it's a totally different beast. It's a way different. Here at the jail, I'm assuming at the jail, you're dealing with individuals that are pre-sentenced.
Yeah, we're dealing with pre-sentenced inmates that have come off the street with a addiction problem. And we give them the instruments and the tools to change their lives with programs and classes, with morning meditation, anger management, NA, Inside Out Dad's class, searching for significance, chemical dependency, getting out to get ahead while getting ahead, which Miss Kathy teaches. And it gives these guys the resources to clean their lives up and become a more productive individual in society, to make something out of their lives instead of going back to the drugs, alcohol, or whatever their addiction was.
So yeah, with that being said, man, I'm pretty sure you've seen the same face multiple times.
I call it the revolving door syndrome. It's where, like David said, he was in and out of jail so many times. You know, he'd come to jail, go to ADC, get out for a few years, and he's right back. I mean, I've got 2 or 3 that are in the program now that have, over my 3 years at the jail, I've seen 3 or 4 times in one of the units, and now they're in the program and they've made a change. I've seen a big change in them since they've been in the CSI program.
And I'm assuming that change, it affects you too, because I'm pretty sure when you was a lieutenant in ADC that you viewed inmates, addicts, and these kind of criminal thinking people in one scope.
Yeah, I at one time didn't think, well, I didn't see the programs doing any good because you kept seeing the same people. Out of my 23 years in ADC, I would see the same people a year or so after they got out, right back with the same problem that they went through a program to try to help them. And I got to where I just thought it was a waste of the taxpayers' money. But after working with the CSI program and seeing you and David and Holly, because you've gone through PAC programs and other programs, and David is one of our success stories, that when he got out, he's done something positive to change his life. And there's a couple other inmates that have got out that are doing extremely well after going through our program that I stay in touch with, knowing that maybe I had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Helping them and talking to them and giving them advice on how to straighten themselves up, get out of that dark side.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of being out, what did the day-to-day life look like for you when you get out? Was there any kind of restrictions? Was there something that the program, you like stipulations you had to do or something to hold you accountable?
Yeah, to be held accountable, I had this little piece of paper. I used to have to take it 3 times a week. I had to go to 3 meetings a week, in which I chose Narcotics Anonymous, made Narcotics Anonymous my home. That's where my recovery comes from, is Narcotics Anonymous, and I love it.
3 meetings.
3 meetings
like
a week. There was other things, I had to go you take a urinalysis test and all that, you know. Plus, I was on probation from a probation officer with the state of Arkansas, and I had to go once a month and pee in a cup for them, and then I had to go. Those stipulations that they gave me were with the stipulations that I was issued from Pulaski County Jail, which was a PAC program at the time. I don't know, you know, but it was like a drastic change has happened there somewhere, you know.
Do you think you can pinpoint maybe
where?
I know obviously when the judge was like, all right, we'll let him participate in the second phase of the PAC program. I know that was a monumental.
Yeah,
movement.
because I mean, you were the one that was there. I mean, you know, he actually went to court with me, which I've never had anybody to do that, and I was given a chance to succeed, and I ran with it. You know, because I don't have 30 years to give the state of Arkansas and Arkansas Department of Corrections. But you know, when I did 3 months in the county jail with the PAC program and 9 months out of the county jail with the PAC program, and that put structure in my life. But I also used the resources that were given to me, which was you and, you know, you, Smiley and Russell, you helped me out tremendously. This is the first time I've seen you since I've been out, but I mean, I feel good about it. I don't have a problem with that, you know. And today I don't have a problem with going places and being seen and tell them that, and tell someone to the still suffering addict that there is hope, man. There's hope outside the drug world, you know. I think that people just get so caught up in the lifestyle of that they don't either know how to change or just simply don't want to change, you know. And that's for people like you and the counselors there to make that decision as to where there's hope or you're not ready yet, you know. But I still go to meetings, you know. I go to meetings. I have a sponsor. I work 12 Steps of Narcotics Anonymous, and it's changed my life tremendously, you know. But there was a list of phone numbers that was given to me when I left there, and I utilized it today. You know?
Was there anything special that you did for, I think, before Thanksgiving when you had got out?
Yeah, I mean, I volunteered to go back into the jail after I got out. That was different, for sure. Most definitely. I've never volunteered to go to jail in my life, but you know, it wasn't. I wasn't made to do it. You know, nobody made me do that. You know, and you know, my wife, we put together a meal. You know, part of a meal that was, you know, other families in there put together a meal, and Thanksgiving dinner was like Thanksgiving, you know, with other people just like me, you know. And that's the kind of thing that changes lives, man.
Yeah, yeah. And could you, Holly, for a second, talk about how the sheriff is okay with people coming back in the jail and finishing their classes and finishing the curriculum that they're doing?
Well, the sheriff really believes in second chances, and you know that people can recover and do better and be, you know, citizens and do good things. So that's why he allows people to come back in or come back and volunteer. And then in addition to that, who knows better than somebody just like us? And it's good to see somebody that you were once in jail with or somebody that once completed the program doing good. It instills that hope in everyone, and that's what you want when you're helping people.
Yeah. And Smiley, when volunteers come in there, and you've seen them back in the day when you used to be a lieutenant, but now they got it together, you know, how does that make you feel?
Well, like with David, it makes me feel good because I've had something to do with him opening his eyes and doing something, being addicted and doing drugs, it makes me feel better about myself that I've helped somebody change their lifestyle and are doing well out there. I mean, there's you. I knew you from Wrightsville a couple of times, and to see where you're at today, helping others with an addiction like David and some of the other guys that you worked with at the jail, makes me feel good about the recovery process now. There's actually people out there that want to help change the phobia that all addicts are addicts and they'll never change their way of life. But we're proving it wrong at the county jail. It's just taking us time. It's a slow process. It's a new program at the county jail that the sheriff has started. So there's growing pains, but we're getting a good foundation set to where we can build on it and make progress and help people like David be positive individual in society.
So this whole podcast conversation, it's designed to give some kind of insight into the mind frame of people, the alliance members that they deal with. So you got caseworkers, alliance members, they deal with addicts. We're difficult people to deal with. We may come up to your office high, and if you don't know, if you can't tell the warning signs of a person being high, then you don't know. But yeah, this is designed to help the alliance members in any possible way that we can, just try to educate them and inform them. But one of the questions that I remember one of the alliance members had, she wanted to know, like, she knows that some of these clients come into her office high. She's like wanting to know, does she call them out on it? Definitely. Let's talk about that for a minute and see. Let's start with David.
If I wasn't called out on it to begin with, I would still be hiding it. I would still be trying to live two different lives.
Yeah.
What the CSI program in the county jail did for me, it was either a stopping point or a starting point. I could either stop right there and just participate because I had to, or I could start my life over, which I was doing anyway. I didn't have anything left. I was spiritually, physically, mentally broke. And if it wasn't for you calling me on it, people like Smiley and Holly and you, I mean, if it weren't for y'all calling me on it, then I would still be trying to cover it up. Trying to hide it. I mean, there's nothing. If somebody knows it, if
that's a starting point.
That's a starting point.
Yeah.
You don't have to use it as a negative.
Yeah.
Use it as a positive and move forward.
Yeah.
Don't do that again. Just move forward and do whatever it is it takes for you to stay clean that day.
Now, let me ask you this, coming from a law enforcement background. What if somebody encounters you and they're high? What do you do? Do you report that? How do you handle that?
That's a tough one, Mr. Russell.
Oh, well, let me let you think about it, and I'm gonna ask Holly. How did you guys handle? Because I'm pretty sure you guys had people coming in treatment high.
I mean, I guess it's, it depends on the situation.
Case by case.
Yeah. Like if you're coming in high treatment, it's almost kind of expected.
Yeah.
Because you're coming in there. I mean, most of the time, especially in treatment, you really don't have to say anything like, oh, you're high, because it's pretty obvious. Like, you know you're high, I know you're high. So it's just go take a nap and we'll talk about it tomorrow.
So that brings me to this. So basically, if it's a case by case situation, if the situation does not present a threat, any kind of harm, just eat and take a nap, and we'll get at this later.
There's consequences behind the action of getting high.
Well, there's different, especially lately.
Well, it's kind of hard because if somebody's coming to you and they're high, now keep in mind, we're trying to think of like a case manager. So if they come in and they're high and they want help, right? And you're asking them, are you high right now? And they're like, no, I'm not high.
I mean, I guess it depends on, like, if they're a danger to you.
Right. That's what I was saying.
A lot lately that, will come in on meth or something like that. It's laced with something. They're in a full-blown psychosis. So, I mean, they're a danger not only to themselves, but to you too. So, then I would definitely, I mean, if it's bad enough, obviously you would need to call the police, because if it's getting like really dangerous.
Okay. So that's pretty much obvious. Now let's think of it in the mind frame of, I've been working with Dave. I've been working with him a couple months. Some stuff's been going on with him. He hasn't been telling me. He's been trying to and just gets down and out and relapse and comes in. I can tell his demeanor is not. He's down and out. You can tell he's kind of high, but he's no threat. I don't want to diminish the relationship with him, because, like, as well as I know everybody knows, hopefully, that recovery is a process. It's not just going to happen. So how would you try to inform or educate the Alliance members or case managers or caseworkers or teachers to deal with individuals like that?
I would definitely ask questions. Are you high? If it's not, like you said, a dangerous situation, or you don't really know if they're high or not. How have you been doing? How are things going? If it's not a positive thing, you just kind of keep asking questions. And if somebody's really like wanting to change, or if they want you to know something, they'll tell on themselves, or then, they'll walk away and they'll process these questions. And then, the next time they see you, they'll probably be like, hey,
I was high last
yeah, this is what's going on. I need help. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely a seed been planted somewhere.
Yeah. And that's basically all we can do, man, is just plant seeds while these people are in our care, in our little bubble. We have the little time to spend with them, is just plant a good seed. That's basically all we can do.
I think with like the case with David and me have been staying in contact since he got out, once or twice a month, or maybe a little longer.
He calls me every day.
Yeah.
Hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do. I want to keep that contact.
knowing where David come from when he was in the program, I think I would be able to tell as an untrained counselor a day, or going through something that he's having a problem with, and just sit down and try to talk to him and see what's going on and getting back to reality.
So what I'm hearing is more like some motivational interviewing to pull it up out of him.
You'd have to be motivated to try to help him out of the darkness that he's in at the time, and try to get him to open up to you and taking out of that darkness back to reality and getting back on the right path, and to where whatever triggered him to do whatever he done to get high.
Yeah.
figure out what that problem was and working through it to where maybe it won't be a trigger the next time.
So I want to ask you real quick. I'm just curious to know the CSI program, the reentry program, started before it started, when there's rumors around that it was going to start. How did you feel? And then now that, I think, how many graduations have you guys had? 3 or 4, 5, 5 with the women.
Yeah, we've
Maybe
had probably
2.
5 or 6 for the women and then 1 for the men. We're about to have another graduation in May.
So
13th. Prior to getting where we're at today with the CSI program, I was skeptical because of where I'd been in the past with ADC and seeing SATP, therapeutic community, and the other programs that they have, seeing them kind of fail the individual.
Yeah.
And then getting involved with reentry and the PAC program and CSI and seeing the positive that we all were doing, changing some of these guys, just kind of brought me more on board with the program and trying to accomplish the mission that the sheriff set up, and helping people like David and others that have got out that are doing good within the community and changing their lives. I think it's time for society to do that. Just not once an addict gets locked up, throw them in the penny and say, we're done with them.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're really not done with them, because I think they said like 95% of the time, those same individuals will come out and be your neighbor, be back walking around the grocery store with you. So eventually you're going to see these people again.
But 3 or 4 months, 6 months to a year down the road, they're back with us.
Yeah.
And that's where we have to try to help them change their life to become a productive individual. You and David and Holly and others that I know that are doing well.
Yeah. So Holly, do you know of any, because to my understanding, we guys, 100 families in Pulaski County, we've partnered together. Mm-hmm. Have you heard any feedback from any individuals, without saying any names, because I don't know about HIPAA and all that? But
yeah, I mean, I've heard a lot of positive things about getting resources and things like that once they're released.
That's good. That's good. I don't think we have any questions, and I think we're out of time. Yeah, but thank you guys once again for tuning in. I hope we accomplished and educated you guys on some kind of form. But yes, thank you guys for tuning in.